Hi, I'm Tim Graham, co-author with Brent Bozell of the new book Unmasked about the media's war on President Trump. And we're here to make a little list of the top 10 Trump bashers in the press. Starting out at number 10, Brian Williams.
It's fair to say first president without a deep veneration of the office and the instruments of power and the institution.
If MSNBC really hates fake news, why do they keep Brian Williams around to make them look foolish? Brian Stelter is supposed to be a reporter on the media.
I think we should take a little trip. Take a trip with me. With that man right there. Let's go on a trip to President Trump's fantasy land.
But everything he does sounds like he's demanding the press always denounce Trump in the harshest tone imaginable. That's why he's number 9. At number 8 is Jorge Ramos. Jorge Ramos is the dictionary definition of a reporter who sounds like a frustrated politician.
And I think it is very dangerous that he's promoting in his speeches bigotry and hatred against immigrants.
And he should just stop the pretense and run for office. At number 7, Phillip Rucker of the Washington Post. Rucker isn't just biased when he pontificates on MSNBC.
There could very well be real policy changes for this country that President Trump agreed to with President Putin that we just don't know about because nobody else was in that room. There were no note takers, there were no advisors, and President Trump, as we know, is not a reliable narrator.
His front page stories in the newspaper are just stuffed to the gills with snarky liberal opinion. Chris Matthews routinely insults the intelligence of his audience with his painful analogies.
Donald Trump never took Winston Churchill's advice to study history,
insisting the Trump family are the Mussolinis or the Romanovs or Saddam Hussein and his kids.
For him, the earth was created in quite recent memory. Everything is without precedent. The hugest, the whateverest. Nothing ever happened before, and everything now is, as he put it so finely this afternoon, a mess.
That's why he's number 6. At number 5, Chris Cuomo.
What is it about Putin?
It's bad enough that CNN thinks someone named Cuomo won't be perceived as a Democrat. But then he opens his mouth and proves he's a Democrat night after night.
That makes this man so malleable. He is tougher on the American press than he is on Vladimir Putin.
At number 4, we nominate all the late-night talk show hosts.
Trump is very impressionable. He's like your dip son who starts hanging around with a bunch of high school burnouts. Why do you have a nose ring, and where did you get this bag of weed? John gave it to me, and I smoked the weed because John told me drugs are cool, Mom.
I even thought, hey, maybe we won't talk about Donald Trump much tonight. And then he opened his mouth and all manner of stupid came out.
Liberals today don't turn on the late-night shows for giggles, but for nightly sob sister sessions about how oppressed they are under Trump. At number 3, George Stephanopoulos.
What the report also does is expose a culture of lying at the White House, the president lying.
Stephanopoulos, the man who helped Hillary Clinton with what they called bimbo eruptions, trying to ruin any woman who accused Bill Clinton of sexual misbehavior.
Telling others to lie, and it calls your personal credibility into question as well.
How could he possibly report honestly on Trump before or after Hillary lost? Joe and Mika are on TV every morning making an infernal racket about how Trump is both a Nazi and a Stalinist.
This is what Nazi Germany looked like, or what Germany probably looked like in 1933.
And yet they kissed his ring in the primaries. That's why they're number 2.
You have no idea what your words mean. And I can't pretend and sort of try and cover this fairly and put it in the veil of objectivity. This is wrong.
And number 1, the worst Trump basher, CNN's Jim Acosta.
Ask one other question. Are you worried? That's enough. That's enough. Mr. President, I was going to ask one of the other folks. That's enough. Pardon me, ma'am. Mr. President. That's enough.
Jim Acosta is the typhoid Mary of media bias. His showboating and screaming at the White House briefing just spread the infectious idea that the press is out to destroy Trump at any cost.
I'll tell you what, CNN should be ashamed of itself having you working for them. You are a rude, terrible person. You shouldn't be working for CNN.
So check out our book, Brent Bozell and Tim Graham's Unmasked, available now at Amazon or Barnes & Noble or your local bookstore. Thanks for listening.